It's time to breathe again on the latest breath of fresh air, Shorty edition. So, I am your host, Charles Taylor, for today, and I am here to talk about a couple of topics. So, a rare two for one special here on this Shorty. So, let's get right to it. And the first topic I am going to cover today is the relationship between players and fans. Now, we all know this is an ongoing debate about fan behavior and how they should conduct themselves when they're at the game, and the players as well. Sometimes they could be a little bit guilty of some wrongdoing on their end. I guess it just depends on the situation. Now, y'all know I am one of the people who says the fans, they can boo, they can say whatever, but the minute they start doing stuff like throwing bottles, like what happened to Brooklyn Nets guard Kyrie Irving when he had a game in Boston, or a fan spitting in New York on Atlanta Hawks guard Trey Young. That stuff is deplorable and reprehensible. It has no place in society. I mean, not just sports, but society. That behavior should be punished, and those fans should be banned. They shouldn't be able to come anywhere else to watch a game unless it's at a bar or at home or something. But if they're coming there just to boo because the players are not performing well, then that is totally acceptable. And a couple of the players, Javier Baez, who is the second baseman slash shortstop, mostly second baseman for the New York Mets. Of course, he had played for the Chicago Cubs when the Cubs broke that 108-year drought of not winning a World Series title. Now he's a member of the New York Mets. And then Joel Embiid, who is the center for the Philadelphia 76ers. Both of them had some comments about the fans booing them. So let's start with Javier Baez. Baez is talking about the fans needing to, quote unquote, be better or do better in terms of supporting the players. They're out there, they're busting in, and when the fans start booing them, it does something to their psyche. It kind of hurts their feelings, and he just went on this rant about how the fans basically need to be better about supporting their players. Well, Javi, if you really want the better support, then how about you play better? How about you stop striking out every time you don't hit a homer, which isn't often, and and then on top of that, well, I mean, I guess he has a good amount of home runs, but that he's the prototypical Major League Baseball player these days. Home runs, strikeouts, or walks, and he's going to strike out way more than he hits homers. So if you want to get better support, if you want fans to respond to you more positively, then stop striking out 3 or 4 times a game, and you won't get that type of treatment from the fans. Sometimes it just boils down to the players needing to look in the mirror to see what they can do to make the situation better. Instead, when they start going into a drought of some sort, they want to start blaming other people, and the fans are the ones who catch it. And now all of a sudden, it's the fans' fault that they're not feeling like themselves and not playing better. Give me a break. Play better. Stop striking out, and maybe add a single or a double or a triple to your game. Stop committing errors at second base. Stop striking out all the time. Maybe if you do those things, you won't do all these cryptic things like have a thumbs down celebration when you do something good and then say that it's against the fans. Then the fans call you out, you get called out by them, not just them, but by management on the team, and then all of a sudden you want to apologize. You're only apologizing because the reception you got from those comments wasn't good. You're not apologizing. It's not a sincere apology. So I never like that when players want to say, "Oh, I'm sorry for my comments." You know, you meant every little bit of those comments, and just because it didn't come out as positively as you thought it would, now you want to apologize. Just go out there, be quiet, play the game. And Joel Embiid, he was basically coming to Ben Simmons' aid, I guess. Uh, there's a terrible, that's a mess. the Ben Simmons situation is a mess. We know Ben Simmons is a guy who's supposed to be a top player in the league, but he doesn't want the ball in the clutch. He doesn't want to shoot the ball. He doesn't want to shoot free throws because he has a terrible free throw percentage, and he wants nothing to do with the ball. We all know this. This is nothing new. This is bad, bad, bad behavior, basically, when you have a guy who is supposed to be the team's best playmaker and they want nothing to do with the ball. Awful. So if you're Joel Embiid and you're coming to his defense and you're saying also the fans need to do better, again, y'all look, Baez and Embiid, they played. I mean, because Baez played in Chicago, of course, and then he's in New York. Embiid's in Philadelphia. These are three of the toughest sports towns in America. But in all actuality, if you're not playing up to the standards they think you should, they're going to boo. And you have to be able to deal with that as a player. Sorry. Now, with Joel Embiid, this isn't necessarily a him problem. I mean, he's an MVP candidate. He was second in the MVP voting this past season. So it's not necessarily a problem with him. But Ben Simmons, he just needs to get better. He's making way too much money to not want the ball in the clutch. So he needs to get better. And then if the Sixers are trying to trade him, then they need to drop that asking price. You're not getting mansions for this guy when he does not even want the ball in the clutch. That's not going to happen. And if they want to trade him, then they need to drop the asking price. That is a Daryl Morey problem. So he needs to figure all that out. Um, but as far as the fan behavior go, look, that behavior is not going to change. They're going to boo if you don't want if you're not playing up to the standards they think you should play to. Just that simple. And if you don't want to get booed, play better. Just that simple. Get better, do the things you need to do, and then you won't get booed. And then this isn't an issue anymore. Before I get out on this shorty, I wanted to throw a salute to Dale Hansen. So for those of y'all who don't know Dale Hansen, he was the longtime sportscaster on the TV station down here, WFAA, which is the ABC affiliate here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Dale Hansen worked at WFAA for 38 years, and he retired last Thursday. He is one of the pioneers of sportscasting here, and he is famous for his unplugged cuts, his unplugged series. Now, if you haven't checked out any of his unplugged series, I encourage you to go to YouTube, do a search on them, and check out some of them. Two of the big ones he did, and all of them were pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but two of the big ones he did was the one about Michael Sam, and that one actually got him to come to the Ellen DeGeneres show. And then there was the one about the national anthem controversy that was going on with the NFL players. Those are two of the countless episodes that really spoke to social issues and the way he used his platform to speak out on these social issues and to start these uncomfortable conversations everyone says they want to be a part of, but then when it's time to have them, they run away from. Dale Hansen was not going to run away from those. So he was a guy who used his platform for a lot of good. And oh, by the way, he was also the guy who broke the SMU story back in the day that had SMU eventually get on the death penalty. So he has a litany of stories, a litany of just stuff, good stuff that he did and compiled over his 38 years of being at WFAA. So salute to Dale Hansen on a great career, and the way you use your platform is definitely a standard a lot of us can use as to how to use the platform for good. Well, that will do it for this shorty. Everybody go, if you haven't already, go check out the Breath of Fresh Air YouTube channel and smash that subscribe button and keep the likes coming on the Breath of Fresh Air Facebook page. We will be back with a live webcast tonight, and we hope you could join us. It's our NFL preview show, so let us know who you're picking to win these divisions, who you got going to the Super Bowl, and who you got winning these wild card spots as well. And of course, we'll give our picks. So everybody take care, and we hope to see y'all tonight.